That's really good.
Alright, welcome back. So I guess this is the first time I'm repeating an outfit in a video, but that's fine, because this is a continuation of the last video. And if you didn't see that one, I'll have a link in the description down below. It's a video essay about the relationship between George Lucas and the Walt Disney Company that ultimately led us to where we are today, which is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. A lot of people are saying since it hasn't gotten the numbers Disney hoped or expected, this land is a failure. And I can see why some might think that. Maybe even they think that up at the very top with all the executives, but I don't know. I think that is kind of a dumb argument. A lot of the annual passes just happen to be blocked out. I don't know why this is still a topic of conversation. It wasn't too crowded, but it wasn't a ghost town either. They used an overflow queue for Smuggler's Run, which should be pretty telling. And Smuggler's Run was the longest wait time that me and my family had endured the entire day at 95 minutes, which admittedly isn't high for a new ride. And again, that's just because Disney prepared so well with the opening reservations, and also, I don't know, what do you guys want? Do you guys want like a 5-hour wait for this ride? Another topic of conversation I'm hearing is this what Walt would have wanted in the park? I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately, Walt is dead, and we can't ask him anything about it. So anyone who says this isn't what Walt would have wanted is kind of just making stuff up, because how would they know unless they are Walt's direct family? And even then, they wouldn't even know. So that doesn't seem like a valid question to me. Does it hurt the park in any way? No, it doesn't. Disneyland still feels like Disneyland, and I think this was really evidenced by the shortening of the Rivers of America. They shortened a classic attraction that's been there since day one, but they made it feel new again, and they made it so beautiful that you can't really complain. Aside from what Walt would have wanted, there's been the debate about alcohol in the park, because this is the first time in Disneyland Park's history that alcohol has been made available to the public. I mean, until then, the only place you could get alcohol was a Club 33, which you could only get into if you know someone or you're part of Club 33. So, again, that was a big discussion and heated debate. And my opinion is I wish they hadn't done it, because they were able to make New Orleans Square a representation of New Orleans Square without any of the drinking. And if you can do that, I don't see why you needed to introduce alcohol to a place that doesn't really exist. But with all that said, I can live with it, because I believe the current rules are that you can't take your alcohol outside the cantina into Galaxy's Edge, and if you can't do that, you can't bring it into the rest of the park, which I'm fine with. Because, in my opinion, Disneyland is a really classy place, or at least it should be a classy place, and alcohol isn't all that classy. I mean, I know it can be classy, I know there's wine tastings and all that stuff, but some of the average guests aren't that classy without alcohol as it is, so just giving them that free rein just doesn't really sit well with me. So again, as long as it's confined to Galaxy's Edge, I can live with that. So with all that stuff out of the way, now's a really good time to get into the nitty-gritty of the land. The food, the merchandise, the attraction, singular. When Galaxy's Edge was first announced, a lot of people were kind of overwhelmed at how immersive Disney said this land was going to be, and how interactive everything was going to be. But it really brought Disneyland back to basics. So just speaking about merchandise, the fact that a lot of the Galaxy's Edge merchandise is exclusive to Galaxy's Edge says a lot, because, okay, I never grew up with this, I've just heard it online. This is kind of like a folktale, an urban legend about Disneyland, if you will, that the lands used to sell land-specific merchandise. So what you could find in Tomorrowland wasn't what you were going to find in Fantasyland. And I've just kind of grown up with everything being sort of the same. You know, t-shirts, pins, plush toys, hats, sunglasses, all the same novelty stuff you can find all across the park. And there might have been some differences, but overall, it was the same basic stuff in most areas of the park. But Galaxy's Edge does away with that. I think Cars Land did away with that, with, you know, specific Route 66 stuff, and they kind of multiplied that by 1,000 in Galaxy's Edge. And I had to get this little guy, DJ Rex, the Funko DJ Rex, at Tomorrowland. He's also available in Main Street as of writing, or as of speaking, and there were a lot of boxes, so get them while you can. I had to get one for myself, so yeah, just get them while you can. This would not be sold in Galaxy's Edge because it says Star Wars and Pop. These are two real-world things. The characters of Star Wars wouldn't know what Star Wars is. They haven't seen Star Wars, and that's because they're living them. They're living the Star Wars. But yeah, there are some Hasbro Black Series figures, and they don't say Hasbro, they don't say Star Wars. You just recognize the packaging and you know. So that's some of that. I'll probably cut to some of the pins that I got. And of course, like, Disney allegedly didn't want Coca-Cola products in the land, but they came to this compromise to have them in the Star Wars style. And this goes beyond special collector bottles. If you look at the soda fountains that the cast member will pour your soda into, all the labels have these types of symbols on them, these Aurebesh symbols. It just doesn't say Coca-Cola. It looks like that from afar. Then you get up to the register and you'll see these logos that they designed. So that's really cool. I think I'll cut to some of the pins right now. So this is the Star Wars pin collection of my pin book. And these are the two Galaxy's Edge pins that I got. One of them says, debuting at the Cantina, DJ Rex. Get caught in the tractor beats. I thought that was really funny. One of his lines is, we're caught in a tractor beam. So I thought that was cute. And of course I had to get it because DJ Rex is my boy. And I got this medallion looking pin. It has the Millennium Falcon flying out of Black Spire Outpost. And it does open up. And it says Black Spire Outpost, but also has an image of the marketplace with a Wookiee and an astromech. Wonder who that could be. Probably just a Wookiee and an astromech, and probably nothing significant there. Cool. Again, on the note of Disneyland going back to basics, something that I kind of grew up with is characters just roaming the park and interacting with you, not you interacting with them. They walk up to you and they interact with you. But over time, that kind of turned into, hey, here's the meet and greet, here's the set location where you can meet the Mad Hatter and Alice, the set location you can meet Mickey Mouse from this time to this time, and just get in line and get your picture taken with them. Not the case in Galaxy's Edge. Entering in the land, Chewbacca was out there by the X-Wing greeting us, and then I even passed by Rey and we just kind of waved at each other. And my favorite is when my brother and I were just sitting there drinking our blue milk, and our mom said, okay, let's get up and go. And before we did that, the new original character created for Batuu, V. Marathi, just walks right up to us and just kind of talks to us about our allegiance to the Resistance and how much she enjoys blue milk and not the green milk. And it made me really happy because that's something I haven't seen from Disneyland in a long while. Alright, so let's talk about attractions, or attraction, singular. I mean, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run was not the attraction I was excited for, but I'm still incredibly pleased with it. Just the fact to walk in the Millennium Falcon, to see the Dejaric board, to see Luke's helmet and the little robot he trained with, to see Chewbacca's bed, that was wow. And I didn't even get to see all the things people were talking about. I didn't find any porgs. I didn't really see the spot where Han and Leia kissed. It was just like you're on the movie set. Once you step into that hallway, you really feel, Chewie, we're home. And the actual experience itself depends on your pilots. They will make or break your experience, and thankfully our pilots made the experience. They were pretty good at their jobs. And I almost got stuck being engineer, but I made my mom trade with me, and I got to be gunner, which is a pretty fun position, but my only disappointment with that is that you can't really aim. It's kind of just in a set, it fires off in a set location, and that depends on your pilots moving the ship. So people say it's just a Star Tours you can control, but I think it's different enough to kind of justify existing, and I'm not sure how much longer Star Tours has anyway. But I mean, aside from that, Well done, Imagineering. Well done. I think if there's anything I'm disappointed with, it's that the fact the big headliner attraction isn't open yet. Of course, I can't really blame Imagineering. It's supposed to be the most ambitious Disney attraction to ever exist, ever. Okay, now, I know that doesn't feel like a lot, but if you really think about that statement, that means it's going to be more ambitious than Radiator Springs Racers, or Mystic Manor, or Indiana Jones Adventure, or Pirates of the Caribbean, or Haunted Mansion. If it's going to be the most impressive Disney attraction ever, that probably means it's going to be the most impressive theme park attraction ever, which means it'll probably be even more impressive than Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, or Forbidden Journey, or Escape from Gringotts. Aside from being a super impressive ride that any theme park company has ever done, I kind of miss that story of good versus evil, resistance versus First Order, rebel versus empire. I love that scrappy underdog hero story that's been so prevalent in Star Wars, and so prevalent in Disney stories, which is why I think Star Wars Galaxy's Edge fits in with Disney parks. Because what are Disney parks other than a celebration of good versus evil? Probably overpriced churros and crazy pin enthusiasts, but other than that, I mean, as the most ambitious attraction in Disney history, it was bound to have a couple of mishaps along the way, and I think the Imagineers did what they could, and they couldn't just hold the land back just because that one experience wasn't ready. So they did what they had to, and overall, I'm satisfied with it. I'm incredibly happy with the results. I think Galaxy's Edge provides something new. It raises the bar the same way Disneyland did in 1955, and the same way that Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion did when they opened. And this is just a new chapter in Disney park storytelling that I am excited for, and I'm just looking forward to it. So I think that just about concludes all my thoughts on Galaxy's Edge. Right now I just want to take the time to say thank you for supporting this channel. I know most of my audience is still just my friends, whether they're program friends or pre-program friends. It still means a lot that you are supporting this. I hope you enjoyed the movie reviews from Toy Story 4 and Spider-Man Far From Home. There's more planned when more movies come out. But aside from that, thank you for supporting everything that has been going on here, even though it's not always consistent. But with all that said, I will see you real soon. May the Force be with you, and till the spire.